Edition Days fans, we're turning the spotlight on to Days of Our Lives' very own Miss Victoria Konefal, who plays Ciara Brady. And trust me, we are about to get all the dish from her. Coming up next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Spotlight On. We are joined by our very special guest. We are very happy to have her in our studio. It is the very beautiful and talented Miss Victoria Konefal. We're so happy you're here.
Thank you.
Giving us the only high pony today, which I thoroughly appreciate. Love a high pony. And I am joined by my other gaggle of gals. We have to my far left,
Michael Mattis.
and of course,
Tami Goveia.
who remembers our username.
Yay!
All right, so before we get into all things Victoria, we're gonna take it back a little bit.
Okay.
Let's take it to the vault. In this very first picture that I pulled from the lovely internet, thank you, internet, we have this little photo from you in high school in a production of A Flea in Her Ear. Tell us about this.
Well, that's my best friend in real life, so it was really, really fun. Yeah, it was fun being in this production because we were lovers and we were owners of this motel, A Flea in Her Ear, and like, it's just such a satirical like comedy. Like crazy things happen. People are getting like thrown off the balcony and like, but in the funniest way possible, not in a dramatic like soap opera way, you know. But it was really, really fun filming.
So is this in high school? Is this when the acting bug kind of bit you and you were like, all right, I think I can do this?
No, actually, the high school that I went to was called LaGuardia, and it is a performing arts high school. So I already had gone into school knowing that I wanted to be an actor. I started acting when I was like 7.
You started young.
Yeah, really young. I started in an off-Broadway production center called Brooklyn Heights Players.
Oh, so by 7, y'all, she was already booked.
Yeah, I was
She
already ready for
booked.
it.
Yeah. Good. Well, let's go to the next picture, which we all know you are very lovely and beautiful, but I didn't know that you were Miss Polonia.
Polonia, yes.
Got it. 2015.
Yes.
So I found this and I was like, duh, of course she had to be a part of the pageant system, and duh, of course she won. So how was this experience for you?
It was really fun. It was mostly like I wasn't really passionate about the pageant industry. Like it wasn't like, yeah, I want to be Miss Universe. It was kind of something that I didn't even know that I was partaking in the pageant. My mom called me and she was like, hey, I signed you up and they accepted you.
Don't you love when moms do that? You just get a phone call like, hey, you're doing it. And you're like, what?
Yeah, I'm
okay,
like, when did I say I was doing it? But okay, I am. And I took it really lightheartedly. Like I didn't expect to win. I didn't expect to even place in the top 3. Like these girls flew in from all over America. The pageant happened to be in New York, so I didn't have to travel far. But girls flew in from California and Arizona, and like I won. They called my name, and I was like, wait, really? Like really? Okay. Yeah, it was really great. My favorite part about it was getting closer to my Polish roots, and like I got to participate in Polish charities, and I got to go to the Polish Veterans Ball and learn about my culture and be connected with my culture in America, and that's the most that I took from that experience.
That's fantastic.
Nice. Yeah.
And I know that like girls who do pageants and win pageants, like it changes their lives for like that year that they're doing this. What was the most memorable thing that you did during that year?
I got to be in a parade on a float. I had my very own float.
Yeah,
and I had
that's every
crown.
girl's fantasy. To have
I was
a float.
I was doing that. I was
Yes.
waving to all the little Polish girls in the streets of Manhattan, and they were all blowing kisses at me, and I was like, and they were like, "Oh my God, the princess just blew me a kiss." They were calling me the Polish princess. I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is such a great experience."
What a great memory.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
See, I always
amazing.
wish they had pageants for guys. I know I would be Mr. Something.
You would be.
You'd be
Yeah.
Mr. Something.
Yeah. You ever catch the shade? Shady Sundays.
Especially today, man.
She's getting me back for that username. Well, we're not done with the vault just yet because, again, thanks to the interwebs, we found your first TV booking as a guest star on Modern Family. Check out this clip.
Girls, so I have a couple notes about last night. Arizona, I was looking at your selfies. Are your parents mallards?
What?
What's with all the duck face? You look like you're at a bachelorette party in Tampa. And Kaiten, did I see you drinking a water at the Red Room?
I had to wake up early in the morning.
Oh, yes, because that's what we're promoting. A club where people make good decisions.
I'm sorry.
You are so weak. I can't believe I let you kiss me in front of the Lakers.
Not to sound like a total Caton, but Haley's new job seems whack.
Like the whole time I was watching this clip, what I love is like your facial expressions.
Yeah.
Like they kept just being like, "Bitch, please." Like I don't have time for any of this right now. Like this is too much. Whatever. Like I love that. How was it for you? Like this is like your first TV role that you booked. It's on such a popular show. Like what was that like booking the job and being on set?
I mean, it was surreal. Being on set was a lot less intimidating than I thought it was going to be because, you know, it was a big studio production. I was a little nervous. It was my first time.
Right, of course, yeah.
It was from a theater background, so it's a
Yeah.
completely different animal.
Yeah.
Completely different, and everyone was so welcoming, so sweet. It was Sarah Hyland is really funny. I was really hoping that I would get to meet Sofia Vergara because I love her, and she's like the Latin version of my mother. So you can imagine who my mother is. So I really, really wanted to meet her, but we weren't in any scenes together, so unfortunately I didn't get to meet her.
Sofia Vergara, if you are so happen to be watching this,
I love you.
please look up Victoria and make this meeting happen. And I'll be there so that I can meet Joe.
I was going to say, wait, we'll entertain the husband.
Well, that's amazing. Well, congratulations on that. And
Thank you.
that kind of started like everything for you.
Yeah, it was the first like IMDb credit that made people go, oh, you know, and that matters in this industry, and it's something that you know I need to pay attention to, and it was just it was an all around blessing.
Oh, nice. Now let's talk about days.
Days of our lives.
So one question that I always like to ask, because we always find out that a lot of the actors who finally booked a role on Days, they actually auditioned for other roles before they finally booked the role that we know them for now. Was this your first time like going in for an audition for Days for the role of Ciara?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And actually, in the audition room, they didn't call her Ciara. They gave her a completely different name. Everything was like so tip top, you know, secret.
Secret.
Secrets.
Which
So-
is good because
Yeah.
then you don't have the pressure of
Exactly.
that.
Yeah. We didn't even read scenes from the script. They were fabricated specifically for the audition. And I mean, it was. I had auditioned for Bold and the Beautiful before. I've auditioned for other soaps, but I haven't gotten it. But yeah, no, this was it. This was it, Ciara.
And did you have a screen test with anyone?
I did. I had 2 screen tests actually, which isn't typical. You're supposed to get one, and then you find out within the next week if you get it. And I found out within the next week that I had to test again. So it's like it added an extra. Like I know it's like.
Did you test with the same actors, or did you test with different actors each time?
The first time I tested with Lucas and Olivia, and the second time I tested with all of them and Christian.
Okay.
Or maybe it was the other way around. Yeah, no, I tested with Christian first, and then just the kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole audition process took about 2 months. It was I went
you
in.
got to practice just letting it go.
Yeah.
That's
You can't
exactly
think
what I
about
had
it.
to do.
Yeah.
Because if you hold on to it, it's like those 2 months are going to be crazy.
Yeah.
You're just going to overwhelm yourself with the thought of like, am I going to get it? So it's like I go in, I audition, and I let it go, and I go on with the rest of my life. And they kept calling me back, and every time they call me back, my hopes got up a little more because I was a little closer
Hopes.
to it.
Yeah. You see what she did?
But yeah, once I finally got it, it was like I wasn't expecting it at all at that point because it was the second test.
How much time was there between when you knew you had it and they started sending you scripts? Was it like immediate, or was there a little bit of, did you have time to like kind of mentally process and mentally prepare, or was it just like, here you go?
I had like 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they gave
That's
me
good.
some time to.
I've always
to
wondered
adjust.
if it's like they call you and tell you you have it, and here's your first like 5 episodes.
Yeah, no, because you need to have time to quit your job. You need
Yeah.
to put in your 2 weeks,
Right.
and that's what I did as soon as
What
I found out.
What were you doing?
I was
before?
waitressing.
Oh, okay.
Where?
Yeah.
Oh, can you say where?
Kahuna Tiki. It's in North Hollywood, actually. It's on
Is it on Lancashire?
Yeah.
I know it's like right across from the Ha Ha Club.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, by
yeah.
Republic of Pie.
I
And
hope,
Yeah.
I hope they have your picture up there now.
they might have my I autographed a menu.
Did you?
Oh, that's cute.
I did. Yeah.
Listen, now you go back in and go, listen, I'm big, so here's that headshot.
Free my ties,
Put it
please.
I
up
go there all the time. I
Do you
love
really?
their sushi. Yeah, I'm a big sushi fan, and they
Oh.
have great sushi.
They need to give you a big old discount.
No,
So I have a question for you. So you go from theater and then to one bit of TV.
Prime time, yeah.
But nothing can prepare you for soap.
no.
Nothing can
Nothing.
prepare you.
I would.
I always say that if you can do a soap, you can do anything.
Yeah.
It's like boot camp.
Yeah.
That's exactly
It's
what
like
I
boot
say.
camp.
That's
Yeah.
literally it's acting boot camp. I am used to getting when we film movies, it's 4 to 5 takes. Sometimes we get 6. The director gets worried if we're gonna film above 14 pages a day. Like, are we gonna make it? And then on soaps, it's like we film 112 pages a day. We film 3 episodes a day. We're really busy. And it's when I first came on, they were nice enough to give me 1 episode a week or 2 episodes a week just to like slowly.
Oh, so they eased you in.
nice.
Yeah.
They didn't
Yeah.
just bombard you like you're doing 10 episodes this week or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
But like I remember a week before I started filming, it kind of hit me. Like it hadn't hit me until then, but I was like, wait, I'm gonna have to memorize all of this stuff all the time. Like, what am I doing? What did I get myself into? Am I gonna be able to do it?
I've heard actors from the show say it's you have to hone your short-term memory. Like you have a lot that you have to hold in for a short amount of time, and then when you're done with it, you just have to toss it and make
Yeah.
room. And so is that what you kind of did? Or?
I mean, my process is a little different. It's always I always like to memorize the day before or like 2 days in advance because it's freshest.
Fresh, yeah.
And I don't know, like that's just my technique and my method when I act. But
do you prefer to have like the multiple tries, or do you prefer maybe just to like do it all at once and get it over with?
you know, I like having multiple takes because it allows you to play around
Yeah.
with the
Experiment a little
delivery.
bit.
Yeah.
It's not more. It's like with soaps. It seems more about like efficiency
Mm-hmm.
than actually like artistry. I guess maybe the word is. Or
I mean, I guess you could say that. It's just because we have so
much.
We
And
have
so
an
little time.
episode that airs every single day, and no other TV show, you know,
No.
does that. So it's like and if there is something that's delivered and the actress or the actor doesn't love it, then we can say, hey, can I get another take? I'd like to try again. And usually the director's like, okay, you know, they are forgiving with that, but it's like it's very fast paced usually. Yeah, and usually, I do throw things away. Like as soon as I film, I'm like, "Bloop, okay, on to the next episode because I don't have enough room in there for
exactly.
everything.
Yeah.
Kenneth Clark in our chat room wants to know, how is it working with Christiane Alfonzo? You guys are so great as mom and daughter.
Oh, thank you. It's amazing working with her. She is this like force on set. Like I just look at her and I'm amazed sometimes because it's like she's doing her thing, she's working, she knows exactly what she wants, how she wants it. And
She's a pro. It's
such
it's like
a pro.
seamless. It's like this machine, a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
After all these years, like she
Yeah.
just taps into it immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
great, and I learned so much just like by observing her and just by watching her. I don't even have to learn by speaking to her. I just look at her and I absorb so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before coming on to the show, had you ever watched Days or have family members that watched the show before? Oh boy.
I used to watch Days when I was younger with my mom because when my mom first moved to America from Poland when she was 19. She didn't know a lick of English, and she watched Days of Our
Soaps.
Lives
Yeah.
but not soaps. Days of
Just
Our Lives.
Days?
Just specifically.
Specifically days.
Yeah.
Every day for years until she learned the language. And my mom's favorite characters were Hope and Bo Brady.
Oh,
What a full circle
She had to be
moment.
thrilled. Yeah.
Oh my God. So I call my mom and I tell her, and I'm like, hey, Mom, I booked a role on Days of Our Lives. And she's like, screaming. She's at work. Her coworker picks up the phone because she dropped it on the floor, and she's like, hold on. Your mom's freaking out. Give her a second. And then I'm like, okay, but put her back on. Like, I'm not done talking to her. So she has her little freak out. And then I'm like, okay, Mom, Bo and Hope are my parents on the show. And she, like, it's even worse. And she's like,
Oh my gosh.
oh my God. She's like crying, and she has this like thick Polish accent, and she's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's true, Mom. Like,
I suddenly pictured Sofia Vergara with that accent to imagine your mom.
Yeah.
Has she been to set?
She has. I brought her to set once, and
Yeah.
she met Christian, and she met Deidre, and she, like, when she met Deidre, she saw her in the hallway, and I swear, I'm not exaggerating, so you're Deidre, my mom, this is me, I'm my mom. She went, that's my mom, that's what my mom did, that sound came out of her mouth. I was like, Mom.
It's almost like she didn't know what to say. She's
Right.
like, oh. So in like translation, it's you.
It's universal language.
Right.
Exactly, that's what happened.
Oh
She
my
was-
God. But then
she
like
was so happy.
you have to think if she was learning English by watching Days, just what she like learned.
What does she sound like?
Baby switching,
I know.
death. I wonder if
Demonic
she came
possession.
over like, yeah, it's like, is this what they do in America? Do they bring people back to life? Do they? Man, I may need to go back to Poland. Just the things you learn by
ready for
watching that.
this.
Yeah, it's like this is too much. Like,
It's not what I signed up for.
like going to sleep thinking like, is Stefano gonna come in here and kidnap me?
I know exactly.
You know?
Make her his lady of the evening. or
Right,
what-
right.
Lady
Oh
of the
my
night.
my
Yeah.
God.
That is such
that's
a
hilarious.
wonderful like full circle moment
Queen
to
of the
like
Night.
Yeah.
to have her watch the show because she was trying to learn English, and then her favorite characters were Bo and Hope, and then
Right.
here you are.
It was
playing-
meant to be.
It
Yeah.
really was. It was fate, for sure.
Yeah,
That
she
is
must be
so
so
cool.
proud. I mean,
Yeah.
and just to be able to be in that position, to be able to give that moment to your mom.
Yeah, that's what. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what I want to do the most. Is just to make her proud because she's done so much for me in my entire life. She's just done nothing but support me and what I want to do, and it's like I can never repay her except for with like pride. Like I can
Yeah.
give her pride, and I can make her, not worry that her little girl is like gonna if she's gonna do well in America. Like I'm good. Like I've got it under control.
You got
You
this.
definitely
Yeah,
do.
You
yeah.
got this.
And I'm
It-
really happy.
And we remember when you first came on to the show. Well, we actually met you briefly at Day of Days,
yes.
when they introduced your character, and I think we were all thinking like, oh wow, she's stunning,
thank
very
you.
beautiful. And then we were anxious to see you on screen for the first time. And when you rode in on that motorcycle,
Yeah. It
and
was
like
cool. The entrance was like.
and the whole
It was
helmet
perfect.
and the
Yeah.
hair, and I was like, oh okay.
Okay.
Oh,
You got it.
Yeah, she's
Case
got
closed.
it. Yeah. How was it for you to watch? First of all, you had to keep it a secret for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then to finally have your air date and finally watch the show. Did you watch it with your mom?
I didn't because I was filming over here when it aired.
When it aired.
When I do go home, we watch it
Yeah.
together because she has all the episodes recorded.
Of course.
Taking up all the space on the DVR.
But what was it like for you to finally like see yourself in this character and on the show?
Is it hard for you to watch yourself?
In the beginning it was because you always want to be so critical of
Yeah.
yourself.
Of course.
Like we're our own worst enemy. So it's
Yeah.
like I'm watching myself and I'm like, what's my eyebrow doing?
Right.
What?
Yeah.
What?
See, that's
What
why
happened?
I don't watch our stuff, just because I'm going to be so critical, and then next time I'm going to be in my head about it.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
I just try to,
Well, then I must be like full of myself because I watched the playback and I'm like, I am loving
I am
me.
beautiful. But
Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, I do. It's it's become easier to watch myself, mainly because now I use it as kind of like a learning tool.
Right.
Like I'll watch
Yeah.
myself and I'll be like, okay, what can we work on next time? Or I didn't really deliver that as truthfully as I wanted it to come across. How can I improve on that next time? So that's mainly why I watch my stuff now.
You know, Lamone Archie, who plays Eli, said that he does the same thing. He'll watch himself so that he can continue to get better and better and better.
Yeah.
And I think that's always important because sometimes what we imagine what we're looking like doesn't like translate.
Yeah.
No.
I've had that happen a few times where I thought because I have a very expressive face, you guys know. And sometimes I think my thought isn't on my face, but it actually is. And I'm like, ooh. I need to come over this way. Come on over here. Sometimes I'm like, I should probably be a little more careful.
With me, it's my voice. I think I sound totally different than I actually do.
Yeah.
And I hear my voice back, and if I'm speaking really, I sound like I'm scared of the person I'm listening to right now, but it's my own voice, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I try to be conscientious about that when I'm speaking, so I don't sound creepy.
Who's the most supportive when you first started the show?
Christian.
Okay.
Yeah, because I played her daughter, and she took it really seriously. Like, she had a huge influence in the casting process, because she wanted to make sure that, like, she felt a connection with her daughter. And I remember her bringing me to her dressing room and sitting me down and, like, breaking it down for me, like giving the whole rundown of Ciara's life and what happened to her and Beau and what happened to him and the brother and all this stuff. And she told me, looked me in the eye, and, like, I saw this motherly, like, aura emanating from her soul. She was just like, if you ever need anything, you let me know. And I was like, oh my God, yes. I will let you know now. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Quick shout out, Me World 2 in our chat says Vicky. She calls you Vicky.
Ooh.
She's already on a friendly basis there.
We friends, girl.
Right. She says your talent as Ciara is stunning. You make Lauren Bowles proud to play young Ciara.
Oh.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Everyone has been
That is so sweet.
so thrilled with your performance. And Aaron Valdez, I hope I pronounced that right. Aaron in our chat room wants to know: do you know how to ride a motorcycle in real life?
Oh, good question.
No. I don't.
Do you want
luckily that hasn't come up. They're gonna be like, okay, so we have a location shoot where you're gonna be riding a motorcycle.
Or if she did,
I
she'd
would
say
want
no.
that.
Some mom doesn't find out.
I would love it if we had a location shoot where I actually had to ride, because I mean,
If we saw the scene with Ciara and Trip clinging for life,
like
on the back of
riding
the
off into the sunset. Oh, that's so cute. No, I've ridden on the back of a Vespa before. And that's about as close to motorcycle riding as I've gotten.
Listen,
It's
you're
something.
doing better than me.
I know,
Because the only thing on two wheels I've
Nope.
done is a bicycle.
No.
And I'm lucky if I can do that. Ooh, look, no hands. That's about it.
Girl down.
Right. So there's been a lot that's happened with the show and your character. What have you enjoyed so far about like your storyline or a favorite scene? We all have a favorite scene, which I'm sure you know. We'll get to that. But what has been
scene? I
your
don't know.
favorite? We'll get to it. What
okay.
has been your favorite scene so far?
The scene that sticks out the most to me is actually the scene between Ciara and Rafe after she confronted him about the whole cheating on Mom with Sammy thing.
Yeah.
How they were in the loft and like Ciara was just like, I remember she said something like, how could you be so gross? Like, how could you be so icky? Like, I said that verbatim, and I love that scene because it brought out the like, because Ciara doesn't have a father figure other than him. And it brings out the little girl in Ciara, the protective, like, loving part of her that you don't really see so often because she has this big wall up protecting her from everything.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the scene, I thought it was really beautiful. And Stuart, actually, the stage manager, I remember him coming up to me afterwards, and he was like, you're doing this really great thing with your feet, and you're connecting to the ground with your feet when you act. And I was like, oh, that's a great compliment because I've never heard that one before. Right?
Yeah.
And I remember that entire scene leaving a really big impression on me.
Well, the scene that left a very big impression on us.
Tell
And
me.
Claire's face.
And Claire's face.
Oh,
And
that
Claire's
one,
face,
of course.
We were like, Yeah. And we actually we talked about it briefly at the daytime Emmys. How it felt like that scene for us. We were like I don't even think it was a slap. It almost felt like a punch.
It was
she
a
had
punch.
a
It was a
close
punch.
It was a
fist,
punch.
yeah. It was a
And we were
punch.
like, okay, we punching now. So
It was very in character for Ciara, though.
Yeah,
like
that
I
was
would.
the thing.
Ciara's not a slapper. She's a puncher.
She's a puncher.
She's a puncher.
For sure.
Speaking of the daytime Emmys, Days had such a phenomenal win
Yeah.
at the daytime Emmys.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
What was it like to be a part of it and be a part of the show and winning outstanding drama?
It was incredible. I wasn't expecting it. Like, we were hoping for it, but you know, you can't go into such a thing expecting to win because you're going to be heartbroken
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
lose. So we just, you know, came in with a gracious heart, and like we were like, whoever wins, it doesn't matter. We're here. We're having a great time. And they called our name at the end. And I was like, no way did they just say Days of Our Lives. No way is this my first Emmy, and I'm going on stage to help the cast and the crew accept for outstanding drama series
Yeah.
of 2017. Like, oh my gosh, it was, I don't know, I'm not sure if it was aired, but Olivia and I were like off in the corner, like throwing fist bumps in the air, like screaming and jumping, like, woo, we did it! It was so energetic. It was great.
Well, another experience that you had was that Friday night before at the Creative Emmys, you presented.
I did.
But before we get to the presenting of it, let's talk about this look that you had for the Creative Emmys. Yes.
Slay. Hashtag slay.
I remember when I saw you, I was like, I literally clutched my pearls. I was like, okay, yes. What was the whole inspiration and vibe of this look? Because it's so chic, it's so slick, it's so and then you have the Angelina Jolie leg.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration of that?
I mean, I walked into the fitting, and the showroom designer was like, okay, I have something. It's called liquid metal. I said, wait, you have a dress with a name? Okay, it's mine. I want it. I don't even have to see it. And I saw it, and on the hanger, it looked a little like it, because you know how sometimes clothes just look weird.
Yeah.
And then I put it on, and I was like, oh my God, I feel amazing in this. It's not like the typical Emmys look. It's a lot edgier, and it has
That's exactly
the
it.
turtleneck, and but it's me. It was so me. And I'm not, the pink puffy, ballerina type girl. And I really, really liked the way this look made me feel. I like the high fashion, edgy, couture aspect of it. I felt so sexy, and I love that outfit.
It's a perfect combination of classic with the edge.
Thank you.
Perfect
Thank
combination.
you so much.
I was literally internally work.
Oh, yes. Thank
Do
you.
it. You got Tony's official 3 Snaps Award on the red carpet. Yes, I was living for that. And you presented that night. What was it like presenting? Were you nervous? Were you
Oh my God, I was so nervous.
Yeah.
I was so nervous because I had no
those
idea.
people.
Oh my God. And the teleprompter had stopped working
No.
for when
Of
I
course,
got right?
of
So I'm
course.
gotta memorize more things. But it was great. I had an amazing co-presenter, Lamone. He presented with me.
Yes.
And having him up there with me really took the edge off of it, because it wasn't all eyes on me. It was all eyes on us, both of
Yeah,
us. Look
yeah.
at him, look at me. He's taller than I am. Look at him.
He's so pretty.
It's pretty.
So yeah, I mean, it was nerve-wracking, but it was humbling, and it was so honored. I was so honored to be on that stage.
Is it your first time presenting like that?
Yeah.
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 Well, now you've done it.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
So,
saying.
okay.
Now I've done it. I got the jitters out.
Yeah.
Once I was up there, I forgot about everything that was going on, and I'm prepared for next time.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sign her up for more. Well, aside from Days, you've also done some other work as well. You were in a Lifetime movie.
Yes.
Which, by the way, Lifetime movies, on a Sunday, you can get
Saturday
sucked
night
into
and
those.
Sunday.
Best.
Yeah.
I was
sucked
watching
into
them before I
one by
came
one.
here.
See?
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, you were in Wrong Crush.
Yes,
And you
Wrong
played
Crush.
Amelia.
Yes, I did.
And the whole premise of this is that there's a guy that likes you, but you have the secret of killing your best friend.
Well, so
Is that
I
right?
didn't. Yeah, I mean, I didn't kill her. okay, Amelia is an ex-drug addict alcoholic.
Oh, okay.
And
That's real edgy.
That's real into it. And she had done all this stuff with her best friend at the time, and they were inebriated and under the influence of alcohol, and they were driving and they got into a car accident. Amelia flew out of the window because her window was open, but they drove over a cliff and the best friend didn't make it, but Amelia did. So from that day, she vowed to get clean. Her life has never been the same. She's dealing with the guilt of, it should have been me. Why wasn't it me? Why was it her? And so I'm dealing with that. And then there's this boy that comes into town out of nowhere. And Amelia has a boyfriend already.
Yeah.
But there's this boy.
Lifetime.
Right? Lifetime.
Lifetime will get all the drama up in that hour and a half.
And there's this new boy that comes in town, and he's like mysterious and edgy, and he's like the bad boy that every girl wants, and he's all over Amelia. He's showing her all these signs, all this flirtatious energy going around, and they go on a run. She befriends him, and he manipulates the fact that she has had this loss in her best friend by telling her that he went through the exact same thing with his brother, like he's trying to gain her trust.
Is it true or was it a lie?
It was a lie. Yeah.
Of course it was a lie.
You never trust the men's in the Lifetime movies.
That's
No.
bad.
No.
Actually, you can't trust the ladies in the Lifetime movies anymore.
Can't trust
either.
anyone in the Lifetime movies, for real.
They always killing, stabbing, poisoning, running after something. That's why
Running
I
amok.
can't be in a Lifetime movie. I wouldn't make it past credits. I'll be the first one to go. Be the one that's mentioned throughout the Lifetime movie. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And so the boy, he kisses her and she pushes him away, and he causes trouble. He frames Amelia's boyfriend for doing steroids, which is untrue. Then he ends up like
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah. And the boy the parents of the best friend actually hired the boy to get dirt on Amelia because they're still mad about me putting their daughter in a position to
So the
because they're blaming it
parents
on me.
yeah.
Yeah, they're blaming it on me, and they hired the boy, but the boy actually ended up falling in love with me, and he ends up and kills the parents to get to me. No! And then it's this whole thing, and then
She literally yelled out loud.
And this is why Lifetime will suck you in, because there's all these twists and turns. I'm sitting here like just with all the popcorn, like give it to me. Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
part of the fun though is figuring out like in the beginning of a Lifetime movie, because it's never the obvious like who's doing the bad stuff. It's never obvious. There's always a twist, and so my husband and I, the fun part of it is like watching the movie, and then someone will come on screen, and we're like, okay, they're doing something bad. And so in that movie, it was the parents, we're like, they're up to something.
Yeah.
And, that's part of the fun of it, That's our Saturday night now. Like, we're an old married couple watching Lifetime in bed at 11.
Well, that's definitely a difference from Ciara, obviously.
Yeah,
what was it like for you playing that character, and how do you prepare to play someone with, like, obviously so many layers and so many stuff in there?
I mean, I just find it's easiest to dissect the situations that the character has been in and see if there's anything in my life that I could relate to that. Just to like, because I obviously I haven't gone through a terrible drug addiction, and I don't know what that's like, but it's like, okay, well, how something that I went through a couple years ago could be applicable to the situation. So let me like pull some of my emotions from that little secret box and like bring it forth in this film. So it's just about drawing like your emotions and the things that you've felt in your life and bringing it through the character.
Yeah.
And the art of play pretend.
Yeah.
That's the fun stuff.
Was the Lifetime movie was before Days?
Yes.
Okay, how did you feel about like because it was you did Modern Family first. That was like your first on screen. Was the movie second?
Yes, and I was actually on 2 Lifetime films.
Okay. Because I feel like I remember you on one, but there was a sports involved.
Yeah, that's the wrong crush.
Oh, okay.
So I'm also a track star. Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's
behind
all right.
all this. I'm
Yeah.
a track star,
Got it,
and
okay.
that's where the steroids get involved because the boyfriend also
Okay.
runs track with me. I don't know, something like that. It's very crazy. You should go watch the movie.
but like,
Trust me, they'll replay it.
Doing a
They do. They
Yeah.
played it like 80 times.
But doing the film, do you feel like that was like good training or good? Were you nervous about that? Because that's kind of a big undertaking.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't nervous. I was just excited because acting is something that I've always wanted to do, and it's always been a fun, leisurely activity of mine. It was never something that I considered like work or something that I should be nervous about. So the atmosphere of it wasn't as high end as the Modern Family. So that's why I approached it with more of a relaxed attitude.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which is why you won the pageant.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but there's something to be said about going into something with just, let's just have
Ease.
fun
Just
with
like, okay,
this.
have
You know,
fun.
I'm going to work hard, but
Yeah, and that's what I've noticed in life is like that's when things go the best is when you don't care.
And you don't put so
Yeah.
much pressure on yourself.
Yeah, just be yourself, be in the moment.
Be in the moment.
That's what
Yeah.
you're doing.
it takes practice. It doesn't come naturally. You
I'm
got
gonna
to
take
really be
that advice.
conscious.
Yeah. Is there a TV show out now that you would love to be on and you've like already created your character for the show and like your storyline and everything?
Oh my gosh. Riverdale would be really fun.
Oh,
yeah.
Really
Great.
fun.
It's so good.
It's just because I auditioned for Veronica before, but
I was just gonna
wasn't-
say
Yeah.
when you
And
said
you
Riverdale, I was
see
like,
her?
oh my god, you're so
So,
Veronica.
yeah.
Yeah, I auditioned twice, and I'm not Latina, and the character had to be Latina, so that's why they obviously, rightfully so, didn't go with me. But like, you know, I could be I could be Archie's sister, like
Yeah.
bring her in, or Jughead's sister. She's on the What's her name? I forget. I haven't seen the second season yet, but. Yeah, I feel like that show would be really fun to be on.
Yeah, I always like asking that question because, you know, y'all know me. I've already written myself into days and have my character and storyline and
Maxine's
everything like
son.
that. Yeah, I'm trying to get that.
What's your character's name?
We never gave him
I don't think he has a name.
He doesn't have a name.
There's a character. I don't know if she's been on since you've been on. Maxine. She's a hospital.
She was a hospital nurse.
She was a hospital nurse.
Yeah,
and
like
she was
a
kind
few
of
years
like
ago.
what do you call it? Not a main character, but like a supporting character,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so he was gonna come on as Maxine's son, but we never came up with a name for him. I
Never
guess that
came
would
up with
be-
a name, but he was gonna come in and be
Maximilian,
fabulous.
right?
Maximilian, there you
and
go.
like
Maximilian.
work it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
We
I'll
were
pitch
trying
it
to
to
make that
the-
happen.
And he was gonna have a
Writers,
mad
I'll
love
pitch it to
affair
him.
with Theo.
Now y'all came up with that.
Oh,
Y'all came up.
that's some drama in here.
Okay, so listen. You give a guy a compliment one time. I gave Kyla Pettis a compliment one time on a shirtless scene, and all of a sudden, I'm just attached to Kyler.
Oh man.
I appreciate his work.
You
His
saw the
body-
parentheses around
his
that.
body of
You saw the
work.
parentheses.
His body of work.
I appreciate his work. Okay, speaking of work, now the Fox City,
Yes.
which is what we were talking before we started. That was like the first on-screen thing that you ever did.
It's the very first project.
But
I
it's
ever
like
did.
the project that's about to come out after
Yeah,
everything
it comes
else.
out last. I don't even know. They still haven't given me a definitive date.
Yeah.
I'm guessing October of this year because I did ADR for the project in February. So that means it should be coming out, but don't quote me on that
Yeah.
because they didn't even tell me. So I don't know what's going on. But
Tell us about your character in that film.
yeah, this is really different from anything that anyone's ever seen because I play a supervillain. Not like superpowers or anything like that. I'm
Right.
just like a super villain. Like I'm very villainous. And that's not a spoiler because you find out within the first 5 minutes of the film that I'm evil.
Do you like playing like a character with an edge like that?
Yeah. Oh my God,
Because I mean,
it's so much fun.
Sierra's like, you know, at her heart good.
Oh,
She just
yeah.
has
She is.
just a little
She is.
badass to her, but to
She's-
play like a villain,
Yeah.
I've heard actors say that they love playing like the villainous
Oh, it's
characters
my
more.
favorite.
Yeah,
It's my
they're more
favorite.
fun. Yeah.
It's so fun because you really get to lose yourself and like go crazy and push the limits and see how far you can
And not
go.
get arrested for it.
And not get
Yeah,
arrested
you can
for
be
it.
bad and no
Oh my
ramifications.
God,
You can be
yeah.
praised for it, you know?
Yeah, like I remember I completely lost it. We were filming this scene where I had to break down a wall with an axe. And of course, we had a stunt double with the real axe, and I had the foam axe. And so they had recorded the stunt double making the initial hole in the wall, and then they plugged me in with the foam axe, and they were like, okay, you're not going to do any damage. Make it look like you're going to do damage. And I was like, okay, fine. So I take the axe. I start going at it, and they're just rolling. I don't hear cut for a minute. I'm just going at it. I'm like, I'm losing it. I have no idea what's going on. And I had made the hole 4 times bigger with the foam axe.
Yes.
I wasn't even supposed to do any damage. Like, they were all, and they yelled cut, and I look around the room, and everyone's like,
So nobody
like,
messed with
what?
you after that, I take it.
I was going to say, you
Lesson
established
learned.
your hierarchy there.
The stunt double was like, great, you did my job for me. Like,
Right.
okay.
You got some aggression out that day.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I lost myself.
That's a
in
year
it.
of therapy. You didn't have to pay for it.
Right.
Exactly.
So, but besides acting, what else is in your world? What else does Victoria enjoy besides that? Because we talked about acting and all that, but what else would we be surprised that you're into?
I mean, I've always been a creative kid. I've always loved to sing and dance. Like, that's always been right up there with acting for me. I just never considered making it a career because, I don't know, acting was always just number one.
The forefront?
It's what I wanted, and that's
Yeah.
it. Like, I didn't even have, how everyone has, like, their backup plans.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I never had one.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I was like, there's no backup plan because I'm going to do this until I
Yeah.
get it, and if I don't, then I'm going to die trying, and I'm going to have a good time doing it.
Right,
Like,
right.
but...
Do you think you'll dabble in it a little more now and maybe like have like a side thing?
Yeah, I mean, I've been writing some music, rapping and singing, which is really, really fun. I never thought that I could rap, and I tried it, and it didn't sound terrible. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I'm also really into kickboxing. That's something that I've taken up recently.
Ooh, yeah.
And that's also a great way to get out aggression.
Is that way you don't make holes in the wall?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Got it. Got it.
Like, I've tried yoga, I've tried meditation, and that stuff doesn't, like, it makes me angrier, if anything. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm like,
In order to truly
when can
get
I move?
in order to truly get aggression out, you need to be aggressive.
Be
Yeah.
aggressive.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just gonna pitch this and see if it comes into fruition. But I think that you and Olivia should do something together.
I've talked to her.
I'm just Olivia girl, if you watch it.
Olivia girl.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. Like,
I told you.
You can strum the guitar, have Victoria, do a couple of bars and stuff, and like boom, go.
I've talked to her about covering Havana once.
Oh, that'd be...
Yeah, because we were both really into that song. We were both singing it on set, and we had that like bonding moment where we were like, Havana. And so we considered it, but it never happened. Yeah, I would love to do that. My boyfriend is actually, he's a music producer, and he's remixing one of her singles right now, Just My Type. It just came out.
we
and
just
it's
played that.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
So good.
It's
So good.
Yes.
Oh, we love it. But he was working on that right before I left too.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be
I
happening.
mean, this is like
Yes.
all aligning.
The stars are
the
aligning.
boyfriend who's the producer, the friend who's the singer, the one who like acting is the forefront, but thinking about singing. I mean, this world is
If
coming
you
together.
add some dastardly deeds by somebody, this could be a Lifetime movie.
There
I'm
you
always
go.
thinking
There you
this
go.
could be a Lifetime
But let's
movie.
hope,
Just throw
like-
in some, yeah.
Let's hope everyone stays alive though.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had to think about that for a second, and yeah, we're staying alive.
Staying alive.
That's a song too.
Yeah. We're unfortunately out of time.
right. That went by so
already.
quick.
It goes so quick. I know. But before we go, I just want to reiterate again from us and from the fans. You are doing such an amazing
Phenomenal.
job on the
Thank you
show.
so much.
And we cannot wait to see what Ciara is about to do, what's going to happen with her, the new face of Bella, and like, her relationship with Trip. Like, we are just super excited that you are on board. So
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you so
And
much.
thank you for doing such amazing work.
Thank you so much. That means so much.
And before we head out, let's do our social media plugs. So Michael
Mattis. You can find me on Twitter at MLMattis1 and on Instagram MLMattis.
Tami.
And you can find me on Twitter at Tami Goveia and Insta and Facebook at Tami Goveia Official.
And Victoria.
You can find me on all platforms at Victoria Konefal.
Hey, and you can find me on all platforms at Lounging with Tony. And of course, you can follow our wonderful recap show, Audition Days, on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. On Facebook and Instagram, we are Audition Days. And on Twitter, we are _Audition Days. The @ is implied. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And Victoria, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you guys for tuning in. And we'll see you
guys.
next Sunday for another full recap of NBC's #1 hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.